Are you trying to access court records in Canyon County without any cost? Stay with me and I'll show you step by step how to navigate this process online with ease. You won't believe how easy it is once you know where to look.
Okay, let's dive into this. Today, we're taking an empowered citizen's journey. We'll start with the basics of Canyon court records, move into the actual rules of public access, give you a step-by-step guide to the digital system, explore how to navigate the iCourt portal, and finally, we'll troubleshoot some common pitfalls.
First up, Section 1, the basics of Canyon Court records and understanding the 3rd Judicial District.
Picture this. Located right in the heart of Caldwell at 1115 Albany Street, the Canyon County Clerk's Office is buzzing. They process thousands of filings every single year. We're talking about a massive variety of documents. You've got criminal cases, everything from major felonies all the way down to minor speeding infractions. Then there are civil disputes, which are organized by whether they're over or under $10,000, plus your standard small claims. They also handle really sensitive family law matters and probate filings like wills and guardianships. Honestly, whether you're just an everyday citizen or a hardcore legal researcher, this office is your ultimate hub for information. Moving right along to Section 2, the rules of public access and the legal framework behind it all. Now, to understand how to get these records, we have to talk about why you're allowed to see them in the first place. This brings us to a really crucial rule, ICAR 32, or the Idaho Court Administrative Rule 32. This isn't just bureaucratic jargon. This is the specific rule handed down by the state Supreme Court that gives you the right to view state judicial records. It establishes a fundamental policy of open access, striking a careful balance between institutional transparency and individual privacy. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what that open access looks like in practice. Under ICAR 32, as long as it's in the case file, you have the right to access litigant and party indexes, court calendars, chronological case summaries, formal judgments, and transcripts of public proceedings. The law literally empowers you to trace the exact step-by-step actions of the court. But, and this is a big but, that access isn't a total free-for-all. Under ICAR 32 G20, family records dealing with things like child custody, child support, and paternity are strictly confidential. For these incredibly sensitive files, public access is locked down to protect the privacy of the folks involved, especially kids. If you absolutely need to see those restricted files, you actually have to submit a specific court-provided form. A judge then has to personally review it to ensure releasing those records won't put a child at risk. All right, Section 3, let's get into your step-by-step guide for accessing the digital system.
Idaho did something super smart. They centralized their records into a single digital gateway, getting rid of those frustrating cross-county information silos. So here's your playbook. Let's say you're looking up a speeding ticket for a guy named Jeff. Step 1, you just navigate to the iCourt portal at mycourts.idaho.gov. Step 2, click on the Smart Search tool. Step 3, type in Jeff's last name and his first initial. Or if you happen to have the direct citation number, just punch that in. Finally, if you're getting overwhelmed with results, use the filters. You can sort by case type or the date it was filed. Boom! Instantly you can see the charges, the register of actions, and the hearing schedule.
The sheer scope of this portal is honestly incredible. You aren't just searching Canyon County here. You are tapping into online public court records for all 44 Idaho counties, stretching from 1995 all the way to the present day. And it gets better. This isn't some dusty archive that updates once a year. Court administrators update the database at least hourly during standard business days. So what you're seeing is incredibly fresh data.
Section 4, navigating the iCourt portal, specifically looking at what's free versus what costs money. Here's the deal with the costs. The state provides completely free digital access to the iCourt index, case statuses, dockets, and hearing dates. That free access covers the core legal requirement for public transparency. However, if you're looking to procure actual printed documents, copies of the official physical case files, or certified copies, the ones that prove a document's authenticity in a legal setting, you cross over into paid physical access, and that is handled directly by the Canyon County Clerk's Office.
So what's the actual damage to your wallet? It's literally just $1. You're looking at $1 per page for copies and an additional $1 per document for certification. According to the county, this modest fee is just a practical safeguard. It helps them recover the actual labor and copying costs for the staff members who have to go in, manually pull, and verify these records for you. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is, well, let's just dive straight into Section 5, common pitfalls and resources for overcoming search hurdles. Look, no system is perfect, right? If you hit a no records found error, don't panic. The system is notoriously sensitive to typos or picking the wrong county. Your best bet is to broaden the search. Just use the last name and a first initial. Now, what if you can clearly see a case exists, but you can't view the actual document images online? For things like land records, judgments, or liens, you actually need to go use the public terminals at the Recorder's Office Digital Research Room. And if you're hunting for really old files, anything prior to 1995, you won't find it on the iCourt portal at all. You'll have to roll up your sleeves and view the historical microfilm, which goes way back to 1864, right at the Caldwell Courthouse.
If you're ever just entirely stuck, Canyon County has some fantastic backup options. You can walk straight into room 201 at the courthouse and jump on their free public kiosks. If you know exactly what you need but can't make it in person, just fill out the online court records request form on the county website. For weird technical glitches with the portal itself, you can literally call the State Supreme Court Service Desk at 208-334-3868. And for procedural questions, remember, not legal advice, but just procedural help, the Idaho Court Assistance Office is standing by to help you out.
Finally, our conclusion and key takeaways: empowering public transparency. Quick aside before we wrap things up, I do need to read this disclaimer. The information provided in this explainer is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional legal advice. Laws and regulations may change and specific situations can vary. Always consult with a legal professional or relevant authority for advice pertaining to your particular circumstances. Ultimately, this centralized iCourt system has completely transformed how people in Idaho interact with their justice system. By understanding your rights under ICAR 32 and knowing how to easily navigate the mycourts.idaho.gov portal, you are totally empowered. You can effortlessly look up schedules, monitor case outcomes, and keep your local institutions accountable without ever leaving your house. So, with decades of public records now at your fingertips for free, what will you uncover to keep your local justice system accountable? The tools are right there waiting for you. Get online, give the iCourt portal a try, and step into the power of public transparency. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy researching.